Hi, I'm Kelly Cass. Welcome to this channel, Stone the Crone. There's been a couple of going ons lately that's got me thinking a little bit, and one is an Australian event, going ons, and the other one was the Canadian dude with the prosthetic nugs, whatever, you know. I don't even have to put photos up to everyone knows who I'm talking about. The home ec teacher, the shop A, shop B teacher with the wig and the vest, the vest which is the huge chest. The other one that I was going to bring up is here in Australia, and it happened in Perth, and it happened in the lunchroom to one of our shopping Coles, they're called. And so they had their lunchroom and they were having their lunch, obviously, and there was a female to male identifying who has taken their shirt off and shown their double mastectomy scars to the other folks in the lunchroom. And that, I just thinking about that, and look, I have a son, and I can only imagine if he's like in the lunchroom with fellow peeps and pulls his shirt off. Like, it's just such inappropriate behaviour for any human. It's just not an acceptable behaviour. The same with Mr. Shop A, Shop B, home ec, the dude with the circular saw, Same with him. It's just not appropriate behaviour. It's really, it's apart from the fetish side of both of the exhibitionists, it's just, you wonder where this is going to lead. I think you've got, there's Akon here, and I posted up on my Getter, Selgrove's Giggle podcast, and there is a podcast that talks about Akon, and I thoroughly recommend everybody should go have a listen to that. I can't see how there's not going to be conflict of interest down the path with health and safety, and also with these shops, companies that are hiring this based on this diversity garbage, like, so if both the shop, say Coles, for example, and the mob that insures for the compensation of, say, boob men, so if boob men soaring away and boob man's hair and vest breast gets caught in that saw, then and he gets sort of dragged into it and cut, how does that work for compensation? Like, it's so unsafe, and teaching those habits to kids is just ridiculous. Like, I didn't mind the old shop A, shop B back in the day. I didn't consider it through, but I certainly didn't mind it. And for me, it was always, hair was tied back. It was always closed shoes. It was always, you had your, depending on what you did, you had your long pants on. Like, the skirts and that weren't recommended depending on what tools and that, your shirts were tucked in, not loose, not flat, so I just don't understand how there's not going to be an issue between insurance for coverage in this workplace compensation and this trans agenda like this. And the same with the guy, the mob in over here in Perth. So where, in my opinion, it really doesn't matter on the human, but the human would be legit the one who's taking their clothes off in the lunchroom inappropriately would have to have a warning or lose their job. Like, it's becoming an excuse, an overall excuse for anything is trans. Coles especially, like, we've got Coles literally now. One was they give the extra 10 days a year, which I've spoken about before. So that includes laser, any affirming care, they get an extra 10 days a year on top of what Coles allows. The thing with that would all depend on if you were full-time or casual with Coles as well, of course, to whether you would get paid your 10 days a year or not, but that's another thing. I have the most fantastic, is it pronounce, I have the most fantastic, is it pronounced turmeric root tea that I have grown in my own veggie garden, and I'm pretty stoked with that, just saying. Yeah, so anyway, I'll get back to my tea. I just want to sort of address that, like, how is it that we've gotten to a stage now in 2022 that a man can be dressed up in that type of fetish gear with this plastic moobs vest and be working on tools like that and teaching kids like that these obviously disgustingly unsafe workplace habits, and also that taking your clothes off in a lunchroom where people are eating is not a hygiene issue. When did we get there? And with the Acon, it just seems like, if you have a listen to that, it really does explain how it works with the social credits. And I just, yeah. So are these guys, if they do something ridiculous accident wise, are they going to get off scot free because these companies are inclusive? I'll leave you with that question because I don't know the answer. I love you for now. I'll talk to you later. Stay loud, my friends. Stone out.